Welcome back to the Hockey Show, you amazing people that have decided to show up today. Now, today I am here to tell you the news around the league. Now, let's start off with the most important bit of information that you need to know, and that is that Scott Darling has started a comedy career. That's right, the former goaltender of the Chicago Blackhawks and the Carolina Hurricanes. And probably somebody else. Did he play for the Canadiens? I know for sure he played for Carolina and Chicago. But if he played on Montreal, whatever. Which would be weird. It's all the same teams with red and white with another color. Which is interesting. That's all besides the point, though. So he's got a comedy career. I hope that goes well. I liked Scott Darling. He's always had a cool, nice guy-looking face. He's always looked like the type of guy that you want as a neighbor. And I hope he does well. So that's the most important thing you need to watch. You should go watch it if you can. Actually, I'm sure you can. So go watch that, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Just kidding, I'm still here. So, time to talk about the real hockey stuff. Evan Rodriguez signs with the Colorado Avalanche for 1 year for $2 million. And I think this is a good deal. I think this is a good signing for Colorado. I feel like Rodriguez was kind of ripped off here because last year he finally had a a good season for a guy. He had 40-something points with the Penguins, and now he's going to go to the best team last year in the league, well, depending on how you look at it, the Stanley Cup champions, the Avalanche, and I think the Avalanche needed some depth down in the bottom six. I think they really needed that, especially for a lot of guys that they decided to keep around like Cogliano and Helm, those older guys that I don't put a lot of stock into. So they bring in Evan Rodriguez, who had one good season. Now, I got to say, Rodriguez is a funkin'-looking guy, but he's a decent player last year for the Penguins. Maybe he can do well with the Avalanche. To be honest, I like the idea of this move, but I feel like Rodriguez doesn't really fit the mold of the Avalanche, so I feel like this might be a pretty nothing deal. I think Rodriguez would be a good fit for like a team like the Rangers or a team like, I don't know. I don't know what type of team he would fit on, but he doesn't fit the Avalanche's work. You know what I mean? So I feel like this might be a nothing deal. I think it's a good thing that Rodriguez gets to keep a job in the NHL because he deserves it for his last year play, but I feel like the Avalanche pick him up. It's going to be nothing. I think he could get in the 20 points region. Not because of him, but I just think his play style doesn't really work with the Avalanches. So, I think this is a good deal, but also I think it could be a nothing deal. So, it's all around good because I like Rodriguez, and he gets kept around on a good team, actually. So, maybe we'll see what he does. Now, the biggest news of the day is that Nick Suzuki has become the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. So, I think this is right. I think this is good. And I don't think anyone's really disagreeing with it. If this guy is a captain material young guy, this is who you need to put as the captain. Not like Jack Eichel when you made him the captain and he was like, 19 or 20 and hasn't proved that he's a captain. It also isn't captain material till this day. And McDavid, I guess on the Oilers, who else are you going to put as the captain of the team? But this is a young kid, 23, so he's been playing enough. He's played in the NHL long enough at this point to develop and become the player he is and learn those he is that type of captain player, you know. He is grindy, he is gritty, he's to the net, he's defensively minded. He's the next Bergeron in the league probably, or at least that's what everyone says. So this is the perfect guy to make the captain. The young guy, he's probably going to stay around for a long time, especially with his deal. But this guy is going to be with the Canadiens for a while, and I think he is the perfect guy to be the captain to lead this new wave of guys. Like with Slafkovsky, with Caulfield, with Kirby Dach if he pans out well. So I like this move for the Canadiens. I like this for Nick Suzuki. I think it's going to pay off well. He probably already was the captain in that locker room anyways, but now he just has the official title granted to him. So pretty good for that. But with Evan Rodriguez signed, I wanted to look at a couple guys that haven't been signed still. And of course, let's start off with the biggest free agent out there in PK Subban, a guy who only got 22 points last year on the Devils, was a -8 as a defenseman. And we all know PK Subban. We all know PK Subban. Used to be a Norris level player. Now he's not. And for me personally, I've never been the biggest fan of Subban, but I've kind of turned on him really recently. But at the same time, I try to defend players that are guys that get a lot of hate for no reason. Guys like Brent Burns. And I know I like the Sharks, but it has nothing to do with because I'm a Sharks fan that I defend Brent Burns. It's because he gets 54 points and is doing pretty decent as a Shark of all people on a team. And he does pretty decently for himself as a defenseman still. But he gets a lot of crap for no reason. I think it's because Drew Doughty said something about him. People like Drew Doughty, even though he gets a lot worse things than Brent Burns. But anyways, PK Subban's one of those guys that I can't really defend. People crap on him for not being the best player, and he also has a big mouth. And big mouth, I don't care. That's fine. You're a hockey player. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to make the other team mad. He does good at it. He makes people mad. He makes me mad. But I feel like, at least before, the reason why I made people mad, like Brad Marchand, is that he backed it up by being a good player. Now he's not a good player, and I just feel bad for him. And I think he's still NHL level. I think he just needs to find a good spot that's not the Devils of all people. And I think he needs to find a good team that needs a defenseman. And I think this could be an Antonio Brown move, where you kind of go out for a guy who had that, well, actually, Antonio Brown was never bad. But just kind of go out on a limb for a guy that doesn't have the best reputation, hasn't had the best of all seasons. Not that that happened to Antonio Brown, but you know what I mean. And I think a team could bring him in. Let's just hypothetically say like the Lightning. They give him $2 million. Go try to play with it. And then I wouldn't be surprised if he could get to 50 points again this season. So I just think Subban needs to find a good spot. Next we got Jason Robertson, the guy that's still unsigned from the Dallas Stars. Ottinger was signed. Now we need to find out what he's going to get. The Stars have $6.3 million in cap space to spend. He's at least worth $8 to $9 million, if not more. But right now, he's already worth that, and you sign guys for what they're going to be worth. So if he's already worth 8 to 9, he's going to probably want 10. So they're going to have to move someone out like Sagan or Ben. So we'll have to see there. And then Alex Formenton of the Ottawa Senators has to get signed. I think for his play style, I think you sign him to a short bridge contract, maybe 2 to 3, not even 3, 2 years for like $4 million, and then after that, and see who he really develops into, and see if he's worth like a 6 to 7, or if he's worth like a 4 or 5 still. So I think that's what he's worth. But that's all I have to tell you about the breaking news of the NHL. So thank you for watching this. If you like this, please pick up your free subscription by hitting that red subscribe button. If you like this video, leave a like, not a dislike. Then go down below to the comment section. Tell me, what do you think is the best piece of news on here? Where does PK Subban end up? Does he just retire? Does no one just pick him up? Or does someone do, what is he worth? And tell me all that down below. But thank you for watching this. Until next time, I have been your dapperly dressed host, Owen. Too sweet, and ta-ta. I hope you're having an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.